Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Power of Capital. This EMSDC website is brought to you to learn more about Chase for Business. Thank you so much for joining us. And our guests today are Nathan McMahon and Mimi Jimenez from Chase. I'm Tristina Cash from the Eastern Minority Supplier Development Council, and we look forward to your participation in today's session. I hand it over to Nathan.
Thank you, Tristina. Thank you for having us today. We're Chase for Business. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on this webinar, The Power of Capital, the importance of power of capital in your business. My name is Nathan McCann. I'm a senior business consultant with JPMorgan Chase. My main function is I'm an executive business coach. So I coach businesses such just like yours, and we coach in 5 areas: access to capital, navigating cash flow, business development, operational management, and building a team of trusted advisors. So our coaching program is 100% free for the business owner. It's a service that is provided by Chase Bank. The other function that I have is delivering educational content like we're going to deliver to you today. So cash flow, power of capital is really about how do you get capital for your business. So a little bit of housekeeping also. In this presentation, you will see some case studies. So the case studies in this presentation will also be in your workbooks. Everybody who attends this session today will also receive a workbook. When you get your workbook, and the workbooks are courtesy of JPMorgan Chase. Now, if anybody want a physical workbook, they would have to contact me, and then I can mail them a physical workbook. The workbook that you will receive today is going to be a PDF file, electronic workbook. I encourage everybody to do the exercises in the workbook. They're very helpful. Why are we here? All businesses deserve an equal opportunity to improve themselves in the marketplace. The fundamentals still matter. These time-tested approaches can help any business owner gain traction in times of crisis and in times of calm. So 39% of minority-owned business companies feel their primary bank contact treats them with respect. So that means 61% feels as though they're not respected. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that. The importance of having the right bank and having the right banking contact. So I'm also joined today by one of my teammates. At Chase, what we like to do is we like to go to market as a team. So I have Miriam Jimenez also on the call with me. She will add some content also when it comes to our question and answering session.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mimi, and I'm a credit card market manager for Chase. I am a Chase business partner, and I assist bankers and our specialists like Nathan in assisting our business customers with any of their credit card needs.
Thank you, Mimi. So this survey right here, this is a virtual webinar. So, but what I want you to do is just read this. How confident do you feel about your knowledge about business credit options? At the end of this webinar, I want everybody to be at 4 or 5. I prefer everybody be at 5. But just say to yourself, where are you at right now? Okay, today, this is what we're going to learn. We're going to learn think strategically about cash flow. Does your business need to borrow? Question that you have to ask yourself. Why are you a good investment for a bank? When a bank makes a loan to a customer, they're looking at that customer. Is this a good risk or not? What financial data is important? What do you need to show your bankers? What credit options that you have? What are your credit options? And then part 6, starting to build your empire. Thinking strategically about cash flow. Now, cash flow, I always say cash flow is the lifeblood of your business, but also cash flow is your profits. So when you're thinking about, do I need to borrow cash? Think about one of the C's of credit. One of the C's of credit is capacity. Capacity equals cash flow. Do I have the capacity to pay a loan back? So that's one of the questions you must ask yourself. What can you do with cash flow? You can use cash flow to pay suppliers, pay employees, rent spaces, and reinvest back into your business. So you have to think of cash flow as your profits in your business. So cash flow is not your sales. Cash flow is sales minus operating expenses equals net profit, which is also your cash flow. So as I said before, in your book, there's a lot of case studies. One of the case studies is Bright Tech. So when you get your workbooks, please go over this case study and it'll help you get a better understanding of if you need to borrow in your business and cash flow. So the key points here is cash flow needs to be managed. If you do not manage cash flow, you will not be able to manage your money. And you will find yourself at a negative cash flow position if it's not managed. An efficient process, you need an efficient process to pay for payables and receivables can help you better manage and the timing of revenues and expenses. Really, that's managing your payables and your receivables. What's coming into the business? What's going out of the business? Do I have a timing difference? If you identify that you have a timing difference, then that might be an indication that you need a line of credit. Borrowing capital strategically can help ensure you have cash when you need it. Part 2, does your business need to borrow? That's a question that you have to ask yourself because you need a plan to pay it back. If you cannot pay the loan back, or if you don't have enough capacity in your business to pay a loan back, then it may not be a good idea to approach a bank for a loan. Okay. What lenders want to know? We want to know, how long have you been in business? The longer you're in business, the more experience that you have. So it goes to your character, another C of credit, experience in the business. Is your business profitable? If your business is not profitable, then a bank does not have any way to evaluate if you can pay a loan back. The numbers are going to be negative. Is your business seasonal? If you have a seasonality to your business, most likely you do have a cash flow difference or a timing difference in cash flow. And your business, your business, your cash flow, your business is going to be um, different. It's just your cash flow is going to be different. You may have a lot of profits when businesses, say if you're let me give you an example. Say if you are a landscaping business, most of your profits are going to come in the summertime. But what do you do in the winter months when business is slow, but you still have to make payroll? So those are some of the things that the lender is thinking about and wants to know the details about in your business. Do you need to build credit? You may not have credit. Building business credit is a little bit different than building personal credit. Are you looking to expand your business? So that's just a different type of loan. And will new equipment help your business? That's just a different type of loan as well. So what is credit? Credit in this case, and what we're talking about for this presentation, generally means the agreement between the borrower and the lender. But credit could mean a lot of things. But in this case, it's the agreement between the bank and the borrower. So again, in your workbook, when you get your workbook, you will see this worksheet right here will help you to determine from your environment, from some of the questions that it's going to ask you, do you need to borrow money? Is it a good idea at this point in time for you to borrow money? And what is your plan to pay it back? So, and I encourage everybody to use some of the tools in the workbook. Will help you. Why are you on good investment? One of the things I said at the beginning is banks look at customers from a risk perspective. Okay, a traditional bank has a loan reserve based on the deposits that they take in. There's two ways a bank can do a loan: from the loan reserve, which some of your deposits goes into that loan reserve, or they buy money from the federal government to make a loan. It depends on the amount of the loan. So it's a risk. They can't lend out money to something, an entity, a business, or a person that's a bad risk. You are your business' most important asset. So what that really means, if you're a small business owner and you are the business, say if you're a solopreneur, you will guarantee your loan. So that means they're looking at you personally also to qualify you for your loan. If you stop working in your business, 9 times out of 10, your business is going to stop. So just keep this in mind, that if your sales is under 20 million, most banks are going to do what is called a global cash flow. A global cash flow is basically looking at you personally and looking at your business to qualify you for a business loan. So also we're going to look at your leadership experience. We're going to look at your cash flow. Is your business profitable? And we're also going to look at what collateral is offered for this loan. Now, but I would say as a business owner, don't really worry about the collateral. Worry about what is the purpose of the loan and what is my use of funds. So you might be a borrower and you might want to buy a building. Well, the building becomes the collateral. So you might want to buy equipment. Well, the equipment will become the collateral. Well, say if you're a professional services business, you don't have much assets in your business. So a bank still can give you a loan. They may just say, okay, the collateral is all business assets. So it's the purpose and the use of funds that's most important for the borrower. Okay, so personal credit score, business credit score. Well, you see first here, what's first? The first thing you see is personal credit score, because that's what most banks, most lending institutions are going to look at first. They're going to look at your personal credit score. They're going to bring up your personal credit because that's going to be the basis of your character. They're going to look at your credit history. And to build business credit, you must have decent personal credit. Now, on here it says business credit score. It's just a business credit score is scored a little bit different. And you have different credit agencies, like you'll have on the business side, Dun & Bradstreet. And they'll do what is called a paydex score. It'll be from 0 to 100. And as your score gets closer to 100, it's color coded. So it turns green. So banks look at that score, see if you have any business credit in the past, and how have you treated that business credit. What financial data is important? What do you need to give your bank to process a loan? As a loan officer, and I was a loan officer for many years, so I have extensive banking experience, over 25 years of experience. I was a loan officer, a commercial loan officer, and a public finance loan officer. So these are some of the things that you're going to need in your business to show your bank. And you need consistent information. What I mean is, if you have an accountant and the accountant is consistent, the accountant knows your business and knows how to report your business, that's consistent tax returns. What inconsistent tax returns would be, say if you own a building and your accountant is not depreciating your building, and your loan officers say, well, how you own a building, but I don't see the depreciation expense on your tax returns. That's inconsistent reporting. A balance sheet. Now, a balance sheet measures a point in time. It tells a bank what assets and liabilities that you have in your business. So it's important for a business owner, and I would recommend every quarter to look at your balance sheet and see how your assets and liabilities have changed. Now, it would suggest that your assets should always be more than your liabilities, then you have business net worth. If it's flipped on the other side, normally you don't have equity in the business, and generally it's not a profitable business. A P&L, a profit and loss statement, also known as from bankers, we call it a income statement. The profit and loss statement measures a period of time. So it tells us, it tells bankers, it should tell you also as a business owner, what are your sales, what's your revenues minus your expenses equals your profits. So on that document, and I would recommend businesses should be looking at your P&L monthly. If you're not looking at your P&L monthly, how do you know if you're profiting in your business? You don't know. Part 5. What are your credit options? And you have many credit options. You have, let's go to here. Okay. One of the credit options that you have is your business credit card. So a business credit card gives you cash flow management, convenient controls, service and securities, and rewards. Now, right here, I want to let Mimi kind of come in and talk a little bit about credit cards too, from her knowledge.
Hello, everyone. So when I discuss business credit cards, I like to discuss them from the perspective of being a tool for your business. So business credit cards should help you with the various things that Nathan had discussed. So to be specific, with your cash flow needs, they can help you, for example, retain cash in your accounts longer so that your average balances are higher for any references that you may need. They can also help you with extending your cash flow cycle. So Nathan talked about timing. If you have your deposits come in a little bit later, but you have to pay for those vendors or you have to make that payroll, our credit cards can help you with extending your cash flow cycle. Business credit cards can also help you with building your business credit. And this really helps when you're thinking of the vision of your business and you may need some financing needs in the future. Business credit cards can be referenced to determine your credit worthiness for your loan or line applications. And then business credit cards also help with avoiding commingling. So it's also important to find out with business credit cards whether they report to your personal credit. Some institutions like Chase, our business credit cards do not report to your personal credit as long as they remain in good, your card is in good standing. So this helps with protecting your personal credit for your own personal needs. They also help with giving you a way to internally assess if your business is profitable. If all your personal and business expenses are mixed up, how would you know if your business is functioning at a loss, but maybe your other primary source of income is funding that loss? And also, it just helps with simplifying bookkeeping. By separating your business expenses, you'll be able to see what expenses you're paying, how much you paid for that card, as well as have your card on file with vendors or suppliers just to make that process easier when you're paying for any of your expenses. So, business credit cards, this is how they work as a tool to help you with your business credit needs.
Thank you, Mimi. That was a very good synopsis of business credit cards. So the next option that you would have is a business line of credit. Much like a business credit card, it is flexible, very flexible. But normally a business credit card, the amount that you would get is a lot more than you could get from a credit card. So say maybe you can get 50, 60,000 in a credit card, but a line of credit, you may be able to get even more. You may be able to get 100,000, 200,000 based on your gross sales. Now, normally a bank figures out how much you need in a line of credit based on your gross sales. And the rule is a bank will give you 10% of gross sales. Now, Chase will do up to 25% if you are not a cash-based business. So, but you have to just check with your banker or your bank to see what their policies are. So, a business term loan is a little bit different. It's for long-term purchases. It's for equipment, real estate, capital expansion, um, heavy equipment. So these loans, when they're term loans, are definitely secured by some type of collateral. Now, sometimes if I go back to a line of credit sometimes could be unsecured, but no term loans, all term loans are secured loans because they're for long-term solutions or they have long-term benefits to the business. Additional sources of capital. So you may be a type of business or you may be a business that is looking for better terms, or you might be short in collateral. So you could look for or look to an SBA loan. Now, what SBA typically is not the lender. Your bank would still be the lender and offer SBA products. So, for example, an SBA loan might offer you putting down 10% versus 20% on a loan, or it might offer you a longer term, like example, 7 years versus 5 years. So, or it could say if you're short in collateral, it could be a guarantee for a bank to fill up that collateral shortfall for your loan. So it's just good practice just to talk to your bank about what type of lending products that they offer. Now, CDFI loan. A CDFI is a community development financial institution. They're a non-traditional bank. And normally a CDFI funds in areas of depressed areas. They are institutions that they have to raise their money. So they do not take in deposits. So they raise their money from banking institutions, donors, because most CDFIs are nonprofit organizations. So, but that's a non-traditional bank that could be a option for you. Venture capitalists. Venture capitalists would want equity in your business. So if you're willing to give up equity in your business, maybe this option would be good for you. And when I mean equity in your business, I mean ownership. So they might come in and say, it's like if anybody here ever saw Shark Tank and they come in and they say, well, we want 10, 20, 30% equity in your business. That means they want ownership in your business. And then small business grants. So whatever area you are in, you should always look for small business grants in your area. There's a lot of small business grants, especially in the state of Pennsylvania. There's some in New Jersey. You just have to go to your local economic development department, get on their newsletter list and start looking at those newsletters. So when those grants come out, be on top of it. A lot of startup businesses start their businesses from grants. Part 6. So we're coming to the end of this seminar. So, and we're going to go right back. to our survey question. And if anybody wants to open up now their mics, so this is the time to open up your mics, raise your hand. We can answer any questions that you have about some credit options. And I hope everybody is now very confident of how to go and approach their bank when they feel as though that they need a loan for their business. So we're going to open up the mics for questions. And then also I have a survey that I'm going to put up. And the survey helps our bank develop more educational content for individuals and people like you all. And then also on that survey, you'll see me under Wilmington, Delaware. So do we have any questions?
One question. How do you get credit when you don't have credit? So you have good, perfect personal credit, but your business is new. What's the recommended path to get like initial credit for a new business?
Okay, good question. So how do you get credit for your business if you don't have business credit, right? One of the ways is what Mimi talked about. One of the ways that you can establish credit is to get business credit, is to get a business credit card. So
Yes.
that's one of the easiest ways to establish business credit. And Mimi can talk a little bit about that as well.
Yes. So the great news is that you have great personal credit. So with business credit cards, we do look at your personal credit as part of the application process. And in the event that you do not have any business credit or not enough business credit, we'll just rely more on your personal finances and your personal credit to help support your application. So a business credit card actually we do recommend it as a way to help you establish your business credit, especially for newer or smaller businesses for those future lending needs for loans or lines or those larger purchases.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I had a question. Do you guys offer any type of travel cards for a small business? I have a seasonal business, and we do a lot of events and festivals. I was just wondering, do you guys offer any type of travel cards for small businesses that tend to take their employees on the road with them?
Yes, Nicole, we do. What I recommend is that you schedule a follow-up with Nathan. We have several cards in our suite of business credit cards, but the best way for us to help you with the best card for you is for us to get to know you and your business better and your needs. So I recommend that you follow up with Nathan. But yes, we do have travel cards.
And I'll put his contact information in the chat for everybody.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Is that Juan Williams from the Riverside Center for Innovation in the mix?
Yes, that is.
Okay, I know you have some questions for us. Juan works with numerous small businesses in greater Pittsburgh, and we'd love to make sure that his participants are privy to this information as well.
I think you might have me mixed up with Juan Garrett.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
We'll make that
that's all
connection.
good. Yeah, we get that. We get that a lot.
Okay, I
Yeah,
apologize.
I'm a small business owner. I'm in the heavy highway construction industry, and I was, just wanted to be informed on some different lending options. This was a great class, so thank you.
So do you have any questions?
I don't at this time, but I do have your contact info.
Okay. Any other questions? So we have until, well, it's only 3:06. I went through that presentation pretty fast. So we have a little bit more time for questions if anybody has any questions, any further questions about credit and about some of the options that we have out there.
Would it be maybe a nice idea if everybody kind of did a around the room, kind of introduce themselves and their businesses?
That would be great. So
Well, we start with Anthony Weber.
Good afternoon. I'm Anthony Weber, president of Webco Construction. We're a MBE DBE construction company in the city of Philadelphia.
okay,
Welcome.
welcome, Anthony. Thank you for joining us today. I cover the Philadelphia area for Chase. So any additional questions that you have about, equity, construction company, construction finance is a little bit different than traditional bank or traditional types of industries. So construction could be slightly different. A lot of construction companies try to build equity in their business, so they need the equity portion to be able to do their portion of projects. Construction financing, it's a little bit different. There are banks to do, a lot of banks do construction financing. And there are also some CDFIs in the city of Philadelphia that also support construction companies.
Okay.
Thank you. Chad Glover.
Sure. My name is Chad Glover. I am the CEO or COO of and CTO of Glover Technology. We provide IT services and technology for organizations. So custom software solutions, COT solutions, and staffing as well in Delaware.
Okay, you're out of Delaware?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So IT companies, they are industries that a lot of banks look at. They'll look at them in a traditional sense. They're looking at cash flow, which we talked about. Cash flow is your profits in your business. They're also looking at your expenses, right? So you may have a lot of R&D, research and development cost in your business. There might be some needs for R&D expenses or financing. Some banks get into research and development financing. However, in that research and development financing, you really have to make sure that you have a plan and you have a business plan to present to a bank about that type of financing.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Kara Edwards.
Good afternoon, Cara Edwards from Hayhire and Hill, CEO. We provide technology services to the government. So I just heard what you just mentioned in regards to what would be needed as far as a business plan and a business structure, business credit, et cetera, for R&D funding. I would be interested, and I'll send you an email, Nathan, I'm trying to put together a plan for acquisition. So I would be interested in understanding what would be needed to acquire small companies that are looking to get out of their business, specifically those smaller companies that support the government.
Okay. So, yes, let's talk offline about that. There are some thoughts I have, and there's some things that you need to know when it comes to government receivables.
Okay.
Congratulations on your acquisition plan. That is one of three tenets of EMSDC's vision going forward is more of our companies merging and acquiring businesses. So congratulations on that.
Well, I met with Brian a couple weeks ago. He actually told me to reach out to you, and he recommended that I should pursue that as an option to build contracts faster than me going out and doing my own natural business development.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I would
I
add,
put my information in the site, my virtual
Oh,
business
perfect.
card.
Thank you.
for acquisition financing, most banks will do acquisition financing. But then there's also other products out there that will support that. So there might be some enhancements that a bank would go after for acquisition financing. But we could talk about it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
McKinley Tucker.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on your program. Basically, I'm here. I deal with a lot of small businesses, and I'm here on a fact-finding mission, such that I will be like a referral partner for you all. I hope that there's a video or something that you all will get sent to us, and I will definitely be sharing. That's my main thing. I have a service organization called Risk and PII Solutions. We deal with legal risk and personal identifiable information. We're trying to get away from identity theft and focus on personal identifiable information. And what I do is we also have an employee benefit that will we help you with credit counseling and education. And what I like to ask business owners is, what happens when an employee's personal problem becomes a company personnel problem? And we can usually help prevent that at low to no cost for the employer, and it can never be used against the employer. And as far as personal identifiable information is concerned, we pretty much cover everything, and that we monitor about 40, 50, 60 points of each individual. We're the only company that works with a licensed fraud investigators, and we will do whatever it takes. They will do whatever it takes to put you back to where you were before you started. And they have up to $3 million for losses. So again, I'm just basically a referral source for you all, and I hope to get a recording of this. Sorry to speak so long.
Thank you, McKinley, for your comments.
And Nicole Andrews.
Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Nicole Andrews. My husband and I, Andre Andrews, we are the owners of Dre's Water Ice and Ice Cream. We're based in Philadelphia, and we are a frozen dessert manufacturer. We started out with our pints of ice cream in ShopRite and Walmart. And now we do festivals all up and down the East Coast. And we have a food truck, a couple of ice cream trucks, and now we are expanding into some stadiums.
So that's wonderful, Nicole. Thank you for sharing that with us. A lot of times on growth plans, I say, okay, well, if you have a growth plan, how are you going to fund the growth plan? So one of the things that I do best is I coach from a financial perspective. And I help businesses look at their financial situation and to see specifically how they can grow from that financial budget, from that financial situation. So as you expand, a lot of times what I try to do is say, okay, well, let's look at everything, not from a revenue standpoint. Let's look at it from a cost standpoint, because ultimately it always costs you to make money. So thank you for your comments, Nicole.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that might be everyone that's on the call. This has been wonderful. We will do our best to get video, if video was taken, to everyone, and the follow-up information that Nathan has shared along with
I think Tracy raised her hand, and I don't know if she had a chance to speak.
I'm sorry. Please do. She doesn't have a mic. Tracy, would you be able to type your question?
Greetings. Hi. The mic
Okay.
just appeared. Hi, everyone. My name is Tracy Jocelyn. I'm in the education field, and I have a very small business, 2 years young, with tons of experience. And my goal is to definitely scale in the contracting world, as well as provide services to individuals and school districts and organizations within the community.
Thank you,
And
Tracy.
Life Consulting. I'm sorry, I didn't even say the name of my business.
So say that again, Tracy, the name of your business?
EduLife Consulting. So really
Okay.
look individuals, organization from a holistic point of view. Just doing various projects with them, equity audits and such, and just building our, community one person, one child at a time.
Okay. And you said you were 2 years young or 1 year in business?
2 years in business.
Okay, that's wonderful. Do you have any specific questions about our program, our coaching program, or credit?
Well, definitely would want to know more about the coaching program to just get more confident in that financial realm of things. But one of the questions to someone else's point about establishing business credit, would you say that we need a DUNS number at this point? Like I'm in the process of doing those official things so I can start in the contracting world right away. So would a DUNS number be necessary to get those kind of like financial conversations started, or just do it for like the contracting, like just the requirements of the contracting world? Like, does it matter?
Mimi, do you want to answer that question?
So from a credit card perspective, it's not necessary. I would not be sure with regard to the contracting world. But for the credit card, you don't meet the DUN number. Your
Okay.
EIN number and your social would be sufficient.
Just
Okay.
as somebody who has submitted on contracts, a lot of organizations, private sector and like states also do ask for DUNS numbers. But if you
Okay.
have like the audited statements and stuff like that, that helps. That just gives them just a kind of a third party verification for you and your business if you have that on top of it.
Okay. And if I'm interested in that coaching program, just for that specific thing Chad just mentioned about like just the documents, keeping things in order, knowing those kind of just being knowledgeable, is that what the coaching program would entail?
Well, contact me. We could do a one-on-one,
Okay.
just a quick meeting, and I can tell you more about the coaching program. The coaching program is, like I said from the beginning, is a free program. Is a service that we provide to entrepreneurs and small business owners. But everybody's need is different.
Okay.
So it's strictly an educational piece for you. Now, how you use that educational piece is up to you, depending upon what your business goal is.
Okay.
So, from the time period that we're together, if you enter the program, I'm a part of your team, and I get a lot of different type of requests as far as goals. So, and I'm mainly honest about what I can help clients with and what I cannot help clients with. Now, sometimes execution of things that you need to do in your business, I cannot help you with. It is more or less a consulting thing. It says, yes, this is a good idea. This is something that you should put in place and that you should do. So that's a little bit about what we do in our coaching program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Do we have any more questions?
So it has been a pleasure to have Nathan and Mimi join us today for this session. As I mentioned, we have a series going on with Chase. The next program will be August 8th, Navigating Cash Flow with Chase for Business. And then the one after that is September 12th, Marketing in a Digital World with Chase for Business. And as was mentioned, there's so much more that they're offering. Please feel free to use the contact information that will share it with you in the chat to make connections with Chase for Business. And certainly continue to check out our website for other programs. We are heavily invested in supplier development, helping you to sustain and grow your business. And if all minds are clear, please have a enjoyable rest of your day today. And please respond to the email that you will receive following this webinar with all the information that we promised to share with you, in particular, the survey asking you to complete that with as much information as you can so that Chase for Business as well as the MSDC can make sure that we address any questions or comments that you have and build better products for you in the future. Thank you so much.